my audio echo?
Wait, did I break it?
Oh, we're ripping already.
To the canned episode of the Lone Machinist. Machinists. This episode is recorded the day before the Dylan episode comes out. But it's quite an interesting topic. So Curt and I both use our CO2 lasers for making packaging, and we've both received a few questions. So we thought, why not dive deep on it? And I think it'll be a somewhat interesting topic for us to cover.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you're into this stuff because we're both into it, and I know we can geek out on it for at least an hour. Maybe not. We'll see. But
so I remember when you got your laser, but for the audience, can you recap your laser purchasing endeavors?
Oh, very much so. So I wanted a laser just for packaging, which I think is like the huge use for them. And I actually want to buy a bigger, better, faster laser just for that reason now. But I looked at like cheap diode lasers. I can't remember what company I was looking at initially because they were cheap. And I had a CNC machine, like a big gantry router, or not big, but a gantry router. And I was just going to plug a little diode laser onto it to do my cutting. And like it wasn't there. Like this was, I don't know, 8 years ago. And diodes were they just didn't have enough power.
Diodes were 5 watts.
Yeah, and like there was the one I was looking at had like he coupled like 5 watts together with like a beam combiner to get more power out of it. It was really fancy, but like it was still like
janky.
A cheap CO2 is just going to walk all over it. So that's what I did. I bought a cheap K40 and then spent copious amount of time. I gutted it completely, cut the case apart entirely. So it's a 2 foot by 1 foot cutting area as opposed to like its little 8 by 10 or whatever it is. Then works. It's worked up till now. I keep using it. But yeah, it needs new life.
What controller are you running on yours?
I'm using just a Gerbil board, like an Arduino.
Okay, with an Arduino on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Why?
So unlike you, I didn't buy a laser. I was enlightened to the power of laser just for my wedding. At my friend's place, he had a little. What was it? I think it was a 400 by 400 millimeter laser. Little, like 40 or 50 watt CO2 laser. And I was like, this is magic, I need one. And then I built a fishing braid testing machine and used the proceeds of that to buy the bits and pieces to build my CO2 laser. So I built a 400 by 600 laser. And when I started, I was running it on a Arduino GRBL board. And then I was like, no, I'm not getting the performance I want. So I podged together ESP32 running the LPC fork of GRBL. And that worked right up until about 6 months ago, when it decided all of a sudden to shit the bed. And then I bought a little ESP GRBL board and ported over to that. And yeah, that thing has cut so much stuff. But I also went the diode route before that. So I built a little laser cutter using a CD-ROM diode. Then I bought a diode and built a bigger machine using a 5 watt diode, which I still have lurking around somewhere. But yeah, that thing was a fire hazard. I think all my wedding, all the names for my tables at my wedding were done on the diode laser. Like, super freaking glacial. I had my friend with the CO2 laser just cut out the perimeters for me, and then we just put on what we wanted on them. And all the coasters we gave away at our wedding. We gave away like 70 odd coasters that we had cut out of a tree. Danica decoupaged on the one side, and then we engraved the dates and whatnot on the back. And her friend ran my laser for like 2 days. Just putting part it going, because it was glacial. Like absolutely glacial. But yeah, then I built the CO2 laser and I designed some parametric packaging for random parts. Like you could literally go into the parameters, set the overall dimensions of the part, and then you'd pull the parts and subtract it, and then you could export all the layers. And that would all just like slot together to protect parts.
Nice.
Which was kind of cool. But yeah, and then obviously, you know how it goes. When you've got a tool, you find many uses for it.
Oh yeah, totally. And like when I started, like I built the little K40 that I modified. Like I was doing this as a hobby at that point. It wasn't, and so I didn't mind sinking like many hours into completely redesigning what is a very cheap laser into still a very cheap laser with a lot of labor into it. But there was no way, like I was cutting 1/2-inch open cell foam that I was packaging all my orders in. And like, there's no easy way to cut. Like you can cut that. I'd cut that with a knife and jigs for like, I don't know, maybe
but it wants
50 pens. Yeah. Before I decided, I'm like, this is so tedious, and getting consistent results is, and then like radiuses with a knife, it's like not going to happen. And then the laser just made that so easy. I'm sure I had to be careful with the foam because some of those foams are like PVC foams, and like that
You only
releases
die
not
once.
good chlorine gas.
Yeah,
So that was the one thing I had to be careful of. But yeah, it cuts foam beautifully, and I don't use foam anymore. But
yeah,
sorry, I do use a little bit of foam, and it is still amazing to use it for that because it's just like I'm like, how else can you do that?
yeah. No, it does foam really well. When I did the bolt belt Kickstarter, I did all the inserts out of foam. The remaining foam is actually under my 3D printer um,
Nice.
as a vibration damper. But yeah, I was cutting 20 millimeter thick foam, like
Yep.
no problem. And then I was stacking it in the boxes for all the stuff to drop into. It really makes life so easy with that kind of very specialized stuff.
Yeah, when I will say like the limit of like my low 40 watt, with kind of stock mirrors and stock lenses and everything on it, I'd say like 1/4 inch cardboard, maybe like 1/8 inch plywood.
Yeah.
That's about your limit. Like unless you want to go crazy slow with multiple passes, that's kind of a
So,
1/4 inch acrylic. It can do 1/4 inch acrylic
oh yeah,
pretty
but
easily. But
acrylic absorbs that wavelength super well.
yeah,
My tube is on the way out. When I built the laser, I could do perimeters at, I want to say 720 mils a minute at like 30% power. I'm now going 900 mils a minute at 75% power twice to get consistent results. Like my tube is busy dying, but until it
oh
dies,
okay,
I'm not replacing it.
yeah,
It does what I
fair.
needed to do. Like the most I cut on that thing, I do trays for racking finished parts for when I deliver. 25 parts per tray, easy to count. If the tray is full, there's 25 parts. That's out of 3 millimeter MDF, and that's that's how I know those settings. And then for cutting the anchor point inserts, I run that in cardboard. And yeah, I will not run cardboard without standing at the machine.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
may
I
have
can.
had a small fire at one point, just a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cardboard's terrifying because it catches fire before you know what's happened.
Yeah, well, I think that's the advantage of going to like a much higher power tube with like a hard air assist is then you're spending so much less time with like it in one spot that it just you get less carbon buildup and it cuts faster and
Yeah.
it's less likely to catch on fire.
So my friend's got a 130 watt or 150 watts that he bought, big laser, 1.3 by 1.3 meters, and he actually cut the hole in our combat arena box. So I had 12 millimeter commercial ply, and he's like, no, they've always battled to cut it. So I'm like, dude, don't stress, I'm on my way. And he was trying to go slow through. I'm like, no, because the glue in the plywood is not, it doesn't like the laser. So you go lots of fast passes. That way you blast through the glue and it's not sitting there melting and bubbling. And you just zoom around the thing like 20 passes and you'll blast through it really cleanly. And since then, he's been doing a whole lot of plywood work for one of my other friends.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yeah, no,
his
there's
laser, he bought that laser and he paid it off in, I think, 4 months, just doing everything he could. And then now he's got it so that if any of the friends need big laser cutting, we go to him. Or there's one job he does. He does his own model train shit and he does one job on it. And that's it. He's
yeah.
not trying to be competitive with it because unfortunately, if you buy it to compete with everyone else, you are in for a bad day.
Yeah, and like the same thing, like the little like craft shows here. Like when I got into it a while back with the K40, it was like lasers were expensive enough that not a lot of people were buying like epilogues and like
Yeah,
Boss lasers and some of the more expensive but still cheap brands. If you wanted to do it in like a commercial setting. So like craft shows didn't have a ton of lasered products, but now it's just like you can get a pretty good like commercial unit. Not I shouldn't say commercial, but something that would handle like a commercial volume of orders for a few $1,000. If you're willing to ship it overseas, and
and
a
yeah,
ton of people do that, and then they make trinkets and sell them at craft shows,
the
and
issue
you
the
can't
issue
compete.
we've got here is every retired dickhead's got a laser in his garage and is literally charging £1 a minute. So I would why is my parallels unplugged? Basically, like next to bugger all, put it into dollary dues, £1, 5 US cents per minute to run the laser. And it's like, sorry, you want me to look at the laser? I've got CNCs to run. Like, that number needs to change significantly before I'm even going to look at your stupid work.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no doubt.
yeah. So we actually shy away from laser work now. It's like, oh, you want shit laser? That's nice. Go somewhere else. Like, I'm not interested. It's just I could not be bothered. For me, it's support equipment. It's like my 3D printer. Support equipment for the workshop.
Well, and like about I think it was 3 years ago, when I was starting to do like confounded machine full time, I was like, I need a better laser. So I went on eBay, or maybe it was before. I can't remember when it was, honestly. I went on eBay and bought same thing, like a 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter. And I don't think I actually, or maybe I did pay for it. I think it was like $3,000. And it was 120 watt with like a adjustable bed and
Yeah.
like a decent one, a big floor standing unit. And so I was going to ship it to myself. And then I realized that their shipping just went to the nearest port, which for me is
Yes.
about like 2,000, 2,500 kilometers away. So then I'd have to truck it from the port to
Yeah.
me. And I was just like, oh, that adds so much more costs and complications. So I told the seller, I'm like, hey, you're not even getting it close to me. And it said like ships to like whatever.
Yeah.
And they were kind enough. They're like, yeah, no sweat. We'll just refund you. So, and that's where it
Yeah.
ended.
Speaking of buying lasers, if you had to do it all again, how would you go about acquiring a laser?
If I was still playing, and I didn't have to do it as like a business, I would buy like a big tube. I'd buy like a 120 watt tube. I'd buy a power supply. I'd buy controllers. I'd buy servos, and I would build mine out of like 80/20, and I would have fun doing it.
Yeah.
But I like doing that. If I had to tomorrow, if this thing blows up, I'm just gonna go buy either a like eBay special and ship it
Yeah.
to myself, or actually I contacted like Epilogue and Boss and a few of these companies, but they're kind of annoying to deal with. I've dealt with them
Yeah.
at a few like trade shows, and
I
they
feel like
just like
the
yeah,
price delta there is not worth it.
kind of like that's I was kind of like, what do you offer? Like, what can you give me other than this? It's like, well, we have support. I'm like, okay, well, I've had my other laser for 10 years, and like the tube goes out, I'll buy a new tube. Like, what else can you do? Like, give me something.
So
Like,
our local 3D printing store, the 3D printing store,
mhm.
they now do lasers. But my one customer, the guy who does the Dutchman squeeze boxes, he has one of theirs. And he was saying, no, they wanted like 16,000 Rand for a new tube for his. And I'm like, no, that seems wrong. Like, that price is wrong. And so they wanted 600 and, oh no, that's millimeters. They wanted $860 for a new tube. I'm like, hang the fuck on. It's less than half of that if you know where to buy in stock locally.
Right,
I
yeah,
bought
yeah,
my tube, I paid cash, so I didn't pay any sales tax on it, and I got discount for paying cash. Their price has gone up like probably 30% from when I bought my tube, but I did buy my tube 6 years ago. So, but yeah, I would probably go the route of trying to buy a secondhand laser on marketplace that's tubes blown or something's blown, and then just repairing it once it arrives.
sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because also shipping shit around here is a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Because a lot of people, like my mate with the big laser, his power supply went. And he got a quote, and I'm like, hang on, nope. They wanted about 10,000 Rand for a new power supply. I went on to Cloud Ray Laser, and it was 2.5 grand. I'm like, cool, I'll buy it for you. He's like, yeah, cash for it. I'm like, dude, I'll buy it, sort me out when you're ready. Like, let's get your laser running. I need access to a big laser. So I bought it
Right.
in for him. It was literally a quarter of the price to bring it direct from China.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same fucking thing. It's literally the same. It has the same Chinese sticker on it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even
Well,
bother taking that shit off.
well, and it's funny now. Like I've had like a decent amount of production increase, and oddly enough, my little laser runs so infrequently that I just like I cut cardstock. That's what I use for a lot of the internal
Yeah.
packaging, and cardstock cuts crazy fast. So I fill the beds with sheets, hit go, and walk away, and it's pretty. Like I'm in here in the shop, but they don't typically light on fire. It's not as bad as
Typically.
cardboard.
Yeah,
Like it's
cardboard is horrible.
yeah, chipboard. So it's like thick construction paper, if you want to think of it that way. But I actually contacted a company here that does like die cutting and stamping because I'm like, oh, like I'm doing this in volume now, so I'm like, how about you just die cut me all my packaging? And I'm like, so they quoted me the die cutting cost, and it was just like astronomical for just like small. Like, cause I'm like, I'll do a whatever your minimum quantity is, 1,000, 5,000, whatever it is, and their die charges were just through the roof. And then they couldn't do anything. I'm like, okay, well, can you do like embossing or like debossing or like
Yeah.
creasing so I can do folding? And they're like, well, not really. I'm like, can you do printing, color? Like, what can you do? What makes it worth? They're like, well, this is typically
Yeah.
for like companies that want to do like 100,000. I'm like, yeah, but still, it's like that's not cost effective. Like, I'm more cost effective to buy a like $10,000 laser and then just run it.
Yeah.
Like, I could hire somebody and run it cheaper than I could buy these things off you.
Well, you
So I was
used
like,
to do very fancy lasering on your boxes when you used to make your own boxes.
yeah, that quickly.
Yeah, that blew me away when I saw the quality you were getting out of that process. But
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah,
Thanks.
I assume it was not the simplest of processes to dial in.
Yeah, it was just tedious and annoying. But if I was doing 4 or 8 a month, it
Yeah,
was
it didn't
no
matter.
big deal. Like I could spend a day pissing around with boxes to get them working, and yeah,
Yeah,
now I
no,
cannot.
100%. You got to look at everything 100x or 10x.
100, yeah, 100%, 100%. But yeah, and still to this day, I haven't found like I found a few companies that'll do like complete custom packaging, like soup to nuts, and I've got a few samples from them, and they're terrible quality. I'm like, these are horrible. I'm like, do you
Yeah,
have something better? And I'm trying to go with like local companies, like Canadian companies, North American companies, just because when you're shipping packaging supplies, like they're bulky. So like I don't want to
yes.
ship huge boxes around the world when I have a billion companies, that are closed that'll do it.
Yeah,
And like I've not been impressed with any of them. So I still do it myself.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Batch of boxes I got in last time, super not impressed with. They're just normal cardboard, stock 3 double walls. And half of them are
Mm,
fucking glued together. So I've
yeah.
got to basically rip them apart. I'm like, what? Yeah. Not the even the die cutting on the boxes that I throw the anchor points in. I'm not ecstatic about, but I'm not to the point that I'm going to go remake the boxes
Yeah, totally. Like I
yet.
can I can get the shipping boxes, like the external boxes. I'm happy with all those. I get all those nice, but like for like custom printing and stuff like that, like or I shouldn't say custom printing. Custom printing boxes are easy to get, but like custom cut boxes is just a
Yeah,
different story.
they're difficult. I
Yeah.
actually saw a really cool machine at ProPack. It's a big flatbed CNC looking thing. You print your sheets of card, they throw it on, it picks up the fiducials, and then has an ultrasonic knife that cuts all the stuff and creases everything. Really cool,
Nice.
really expensive, but really cool.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy going to all the packaging expos to see what's new and how people are doing things. I mean, I've switched now. I hate bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is the freaking devil to store. Never mind in a box, just to fucking store the stuff is hard because it's a giant roll. So I switched to paper because I can tear off a piece of paper this big, scrunch it up, and it takes up a whole lot of volume and is recyclable.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
or burnable because we live in Africa.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
paper's a lot better than burning
yeah,
plastic.
like my whole packaging stack, you could throw on a fire and nothing will really poison you,
Yep.
and
That's
that's
what I
very
aim.
much
That's what I
by
aim for
design.
too.
Yeah. But one thing I did mention to Joshua was asking about lasering because he wants to pack his vases. So he was asking me about it. I'm like, put your cardboard at 45 degrees when you cut it, or put your pattern at 45 degrees because then you get stiffness in all directions. Whereas like right now, the stuff that wraps the anchor points, it's stiff in one direction and floppy doodle in the other direction, which doesn't matter for
Mhm.
what it's doing. But when you're putting a whole vase in a box, that might make a difference.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Or like I said, start getting fancy with origami. Where like, well, you do that with
Yeah,
where you put folds and creases to
would
gain
you like to
strength.
know how I do that? How I design that? You're gonna love
I would
this.
love. I would love to.
Fusion 360 sheet metal, 4 millimeter
Yeah.
steel. So I
Yeah.
design it as formal steel, and then I flat pattern, and I go into LightBurn and I just assign all the different colors to the different things. Like literally 4 millimeter sheet metal. That's how I did. I think your anchor point came with really complex origami. Um,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
origami now that they just fit in a little box. I actually want to make new origamis for batch 3 for the accessory pack. So the toe clamp slot in, the valve, all the fittings that have their place that they go in the box.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
See, and this is the advantage of being able to do it yourself is like you can iterate on it. And yeah, it takes a ton of upfront work, but then it takes an extra whatever 10%, 15% time on the laser, and you blow customers
yeah,
away by having a like labeled and it looks good. Like
yeah.
it's the first impression kind of dealio.
No, that's it. Like I don't know if you saw the unboxing that Ben from Toolpath did or from Black
Yeah.
Fox, where he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"It has a handle." I'm like, "Yes, it has a handle." Like
Exactly.
it's designed to be easy to get out of the box. Like that is the whole purpose of that packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but don't make your own outside cardboard boxes. Just buy those; it's cheaper.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. By the time you buy
Yeah.
sheet. Yeah.
No, we can buy sheets 1.2 by 1.2 meter pallet liners for
Yeah.
next to nothing here, but they don't fit in the laser. So I've taken to buying stock box fives or sevens. I can't remember. It's the one that's 500 by 700.
Mm.
And then I basically split the box into the 4 panels. And the short panels, I get one of the anchor point wrappy things. And the longer panels, I get two per. So I end up with 6 pieces per box. And that's just
Nice.
the most convenient. I send Danica down the road to the printing store. She just buys 1 or 2 boxes for me, comes back, and I throw them in the laser.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I put an
It's
MDF bottom in my box and an MDF top so that you can throw it around and it's not really going to take too much damage.
Yeah, I did like that because it came to
Yeah,
me flawless, and I was like,
yeah.
oh, when you're shipping something heavy, it's like it gets beat up quick.
And it's not even that heavy. It's like 2 kilos, but yeah, it adds up. It was one point something because four of them was 7.5 kilos.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
still, yeah.
it adds up. It definitely adds up. Like now, the ones I'm packing tonight, I think it's like a 16 kilo box or something stupid because
Yeah.
it's two anchor points, two pallets, accessories. Yeah, it starts to get a little hefty.
Well, and I think both of us could probably say like even if like I'll eventually probably hit a point where laser packaging. Actually, you know what? I probably won't because
No, you probably won't. Like
I'm
even I
deliberately
probably
trying to
won't.
yeah, I'm deliberately trying to keep my scale at the point where I enjoy doing what I do and I can do the fun things. But I would never be without a laser, just like I'd never be without a 3D printer because like
Yeah.
the flexibility that you can use for everything, like just little soft jaw, and lasers are accurate. Like you can get accurate parts quickly. So
Well,
and there's no work holding.
I was on the toolpath community call, and we were discussing tool tags, and they were asking about how they label their tool tags, and I'm like, I got a fiber laser. It's literally quick. It's a fiber laser, my PETG tool tag, than it is for me to take out my label printer.
Totally.
Because I
Yeah.
think John Saunders was saying he just uses a Dymo label printer for theirs. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck that laser. And then yeah, you're saying just laser your tool holders with the tool number as well. Like if it's a dedicated holder, I'm like, I'm not that brave yet.
Yeah. I want a fiber. I want a fiber with the what is it? MOPA
Mopa, yeah,
ability. Yeah.
yeah.
Just so I can do the color anodizing on titanium. That's the next kind of fun toy I want to play with.
They're not that expensive anymore. They keep coming down in price.
Yeah, no, they're reasonable for sure. I still I mean, it's just maybe just me, but like a lasered item on like metal never feels the same as an engraved. Like
Yeah,
it feels cheaper
it
to me.
feels
It's like,
yeah,
oh,
it feels cheaper, but yeah, there's also some cool things you can do with the laser. Like you
absolutely.
can definitely etch it in deeper. Like I've got a coin in my workshop that's half a mil deep with a 20-watt laser in
Right,
brass.
right.
Like it took an hour and a half, but yeah, you
Yeah.
can do silly things like that. I have blown through a piece of titanium with it. It took like an hour, um, but it can be done. Like where there's a will, there's a way.
I can't remember if it was a pen or what I saw it on, but I think someone did like a bunch of Pokemon on. I think it might
Oh,
have been. I'll
nice.
say it's a pen for this. Maybe it might have been a knife. Actually, it might have been a knife. In titanium, and they like color anodized everything, so it was
Yeah,
deep cut in, and then like kind of like cartoon shader, and
yeah,
then anodized colored, and I was like, oh, that is
fancy.
sick. Yeah, it
So
was cool.
I might need to build a rotary for my fiber laser. It has the drive in it
Ooh.
already. I just need to put a motor plug into it. Had the Dutchman squeeze box guys here, and they are looking for pigeon rings. So it's an anodized ring with a number on it to tag your pigeons or some shit. I don't know.
Oh,
Call them
okay,
pigeon
okay, yeah,
rings.
yeah,
I'm like, cool. Bring me samples, and I'll see if I can assist you with it. They're not going to be
yeah,
cheap, but they're going to be custom.
yeah.
Because
Well,
if I can
that's
put
awesome.
a length of tube into my anno setup and color it that way, and then just part them off to length, that's going to be way easier than racking 100 little parts to anodize it. Like, yeah, we'll
Absolutely,
see.
yeah,
Yeah, there's interesting things afoot in the workshop currently.
yeah. That's fun. I don't know. And
Yeah,
if anybody's considering a laser after listening to our shill podcast
bar
here,
one.
just buy one, buy one, and then
Yes,
ditch whatever software it comes with, and just buy LightBurn.
100%. Yeah, worth
Like,
every cent.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
buy
think
it.
I've
It's
talked
worth
to
every cent.
anybody.
You can
Yeah,
buy it, and your license is updated for a year after that. You don't have to buy it again, and you just don't get updates.
yep, yeah, exactly. That's
Literally,
what I'm
mine
at right now.
expired now. I've had my fiber laser for a year. And before that, we had it for like 3 years. Danica had Lightburn. I still used laser web up until I got the fiber laser.
Yeah,
And then I switched over. But yeah, Lightburn is just full of magic.
there's very few pieces of software where I'm like, wow, this was designed by somebody that uses it, and LightBurn is one of them. Where you're like, holy crap! Like you can do what you want to do simply, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy good software. I wish that
It's
carried
it's
over
the
to like CAD.
it's the opposite of Microsoft.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Fusion was bugging out today hard where I was working to the point that I had to alt tab out because I couldn't click off of the window, alt tab to a different window, then come back, and then the mouse would work in Fusion. It was
Ah,
really weird. But yeah,
yeah.
like Lightburn worth every freaking cent, and you can get it for free for 30 days.
Yep.
Don't be
Exactly.
like use all 30 days and then buy it. Um, I got impatient and bought it. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's definitely worth buying. Buying Lightburn. And then, there was another job I did packaging for. The day that I sanded my fingerprints off, or the weekend that I sanded my fingerprints off. So I did a job where we did some stainless steel tubes for beverage filling or some cuck. So it had a profile machined on the end, a groove in the middle, and chamfered on the other end. And they needed to be polished. And I started the job, I'm like, I'll wet sand these by hand. 300 of them. I should have made an adapter for my angle grinder that I could put the Scotch-Brite on it. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. Yeah, 16 hours later of standing at the lathe polishing freaking tubes. And those, I took a box and I laser cut an insert for it that they all stood vertically in the box.
Nice. Yeah,
so I delivered the guys, like, is this all of them? I'm like, yes, it is. Count. Like, it's simple maths. And they're not touching each other. They're not getting scratched. Like, yeah, it was spiffy.
Well, that was just that was actually a neat life hack that I didn't even think about. Like, I use same thing. I use a ton of like sandpaper, abrasive paper, whatever you want to call it, and like cutting it into like different squares. You kill knives, obviously, because you're cutting through. But
what did you do?
Me. I don't know. Can you still hear me though?
Yes, I can. Curt pushed a button, so now we're looking at Elgato. Please run camera hub. Yeah, anyway, that's fine. Carry on talking.
We'll figure that out in a second. But the like laser, I just put like all the abrasive sheets in the laser and cut it with that because like it doesn't dull, and it like you can chop as many as you want. Like you're never going to dull the laser, and it makes a clean cut. So I was like, this is so smart. Why didn't I think about this forever ago?
Yeah, that's freaking genius. That had never occurred to me.
Neither me. I've been through like 1,000 X-Acto blades cutting sandpaper and be like, oh wait, I have a way better tool for this.
So when I built my laser, I built it with a steel sheet at the bottom. So the laser wouldn't go through the steel sheet. And I used 5mm square magnets to space the jobs up. And then I recently went to a bed of copper nails because my dad had a box of copper nails I wasn't allowed to play with as a child. And then he died. Ooh. So I got them. And it turns out they're not all the same length. I sat with a vernier and measured all the nails and then laser cut a piece of MDF with all the holes in, glued all the nails in, and that's my bed that my work sits on. Because if you use, like the honeycomb can get a bit dangerous with acrylic because it blasts through, vaporizes it, condensates onto the aluminium honeycomb, and then catches fire. Yeah. So I prefer the bed of nails approach. And bed of nails are small points of contact, so odds of hitting one are quite low. So you get a much cleaner cut.
Nice, yeah. That's same thing. I use the aluminum honeycomb, and I know exactly what you mean about laser because you get weird things happening. Or acrylic.
Yeah, weird shit underneath it. I like my bed of nails. It's quite fancy. Only problem is when something drops in between, you got to grab it and you miss, and you stab yourself. That's a little less than ideal, especially when it like jabs you under the fingernail. It's really unpleasant. And don't skimp on extraction because I did for the longest time.
Yeah.
When I bought the fiber laser, I bought a proper extractor for both lasers, like a jumping castle fan that I put up outside. When the laser goes on, it turns on.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I like underestimated how much I would need that, and then it was like, oh, this is like really important. They produce a crap ton of smoke.
And the problem, like we cut a lot of MDF, and the resin sticks to fucking everything. Like the smoke touches stuff, and leaves a residue. Hey, Kurt's back.
Yeah, sorry, I had to reboot. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I had to control or delete the camera to make it happy again.
Oh wow,
we're back.
Because even the fiber laser fucking makes. I'm trying to just like it smells like burning metal when you burning metal. Like it's got a interesting smell, but we've got an extractor for that.
Probably don't want your lungs doing that kind of filtering.
No, preferably not. Because we laser, like we now batch number a bunch of the products we do of that recurring work, just so we can track when they were delivered. That if they say, "Oh, there's a problem with it," like, dude, we delivered it a year ago. Why didn't you use it then? So we do a bit of labeling on that stuff. And then label everything. Like I burn my name onto all sorts of fun stuff. We also do drone tags. So if anyone wants to label steel with a CO2 laser, molybdenum disulfide, also known as anti-scuff spray, you spray that on, and then you run the laser on it, and it actually etches into the surface.
Nice. Okay.
Like Scotch-Brite the shit out of the pot to get it off. Obviously, the fiber laser does a better job. We do
Of
drone
course.
tags. It went from being spray them, put them in the machine, wait a minute, to like 7 seconds, done. Etched in
Yeah.
steel plate, bending because of the heat, with a 20-watt fiber laser. But yeah,
Nice.
we probably make 100 or 200 drone tags a year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We
Well,
make
that's good
quite a
use for it.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's perfect for a small fiber laser. And then I use it
Well,
for
that's
marking all the anchor points. Like,
see, that's your advantage because you can. It's so fast to set up and like for serializing. Like there, and same thing with the software. It's automated. To, like you do one serial, and then you can
yes,
look up an Excel table, and you can just
yeah, you
keep.
look up a
You don't have to.
CSV.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Just
freaking
cycle,
cool.
cycle, 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 cycle. Like it's yeah. There's some cool software you can use.
It's
Or
really cool.
cool.
We've actually got a job
It's
potentially coming down the line where I want to get a 30-watt laser. And then I will make a rotary table and do a CS. I won't even do a CSV, just a rotary table. So it'll position, laser, position, laser. So I can do 12 parts at a time. So I can walk away for 30 minutes and then come back because we're blasting through powder coat, and that takes a little bit of time to get a
mm,
consistent result because the powder coaters are, I don't know, illiterate and put
yeah.
different
Fair.
thicknesses on. But yeah, we'll see if that ever comes around. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
Yeah. I
But
know. That's a problem. Is I have so many like little silly business ideas that I would want to do with just like a laser because they're so simple. Like the barrier for entry is nothing, and like you said, you put them sheet goods in and you hit go. Like you could do a million things. And even though the market is saturated, I still think there's all
there's
kinds of
things you
little
could do that are different.
niches.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I have a friend who's big into model trains, and so he's always like trying to get me to do buildings for him and stuff. And I was like, man, you
That
could laser up these buildings for next to nothing, and people charge an arm and a leg for
yeah.
HO or HHO scale or whatever. Just like
That's
this would
what
be
my mate
trivial.
Phil does. Like
Mm,
he makes train things for himself and for a few other people now. Like the list just keeps getting shorter. But yeah, if
yeah.
anyone wants train things, reach out to me. I'll put you in touch with Phil. I'm sure I'd be happy
Ooh,
to sell overseas because the
that's
local
90
guys are just they want everything for free.
says 95% of our audience is definitely into trains.
Yes. Everyone's into trains. Trains are cool.
Trains are cool.
Trains are cool. No, like the lasers are super, super useful. I had a customer, they bought a laser for a job where they were engraving the company name. So they were buying carbide drills from me. They were making it for, I think it was B&B Gin. The packaging was made out of solid wood with a million holes in it. Like they were
Mhm.
drilling like 20,000 holes a day on the CNC.
Cool.
Yeah, no, just like peppering. So they were using a high-speed drill, which was hilarious. Then they went to
Cool.
carbides, and then they were lasering the B&B gin on it. And then the idea was when you open the bottle of gin out of the package, you take a thing and you can hang it on the wall, and bees can come live in it. Like
Oh,
it was
okay.
meant to be like a beehive starter thing. But yeah, they
Oh,
drilled
cool.
hundreds of holes, and they literally had a laser that ran 24/7, and the guy would put part, hit, go, put part, hit, go, because they had to make like 5,000 of these boxes in a few months. So yeah,
Nice.
they were running 24/7. But yeah, lasers have become like a commodity thing now. I mean, I can buy one right now. Googling on the podcast. I don't feel like clicking the button. I actually want to see how much a laser is quickly. If only my internet was less slow.
Well, like,
CO2 laser. So this
yeah.
is in stock in Johannesburg. Um, where did it go? I saw one for 44,000 rand. So we'll just type that in.
It's $2,000 or something.
$2,300.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like
can go pick it
very
up
reasonable.
tomorrow. It's a 60-watt laser. Yeah, water chiller, rotary, everything.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're not particularly expensive anymore. Don't have anywhere to put it though. Might have to get rid of some
Yeah,
machines.
that's not a problem. Just put it in your bedroom. Lots of
Uh,
room in there.
there is the assembly and packaging room.
Ah, yes,
The
yes,
thought
yes.
has occurred to me to move the lasers there, but then yeah, the wife may take offense to that.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah,
little
fair
bit,
enough.
because I actually
Yeah.
want to move assembly inside and packaging and whatnot. That is a task for next year because the year is running out.
Ugh, I know.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, well, I think
Um,
I don't know if you want to call this one short or you got more
I
fun
think
topics.
I think we could probably call it short because we don't
Well,
need to
before
ear
we
beat
call it
people.
short, We have fancy Patreons who make the wheels on the bus go round and round on the podcast. Podcast is a bus today. It's not a train, guys. It's a bus. Big thanks to all our top tier. Well, big thanks to all our Patreons who make the wheels on the podcast go round and round. But our top tier ones, they get a shout out as well as an after show. Thank you to Jade from Benchmark 20, Luke from Fantastic, AJ from Subtract Manufacturing, and 27 other companies. EJ from Nocturnal Welding, Jason S., the Aussie Machinist, Christian Olsen, Charles White, and Carl from Cursed Machine.
Wow.
Thank you all. Yeah, no, the list keeps growing. At this rate, we're not going to have to sleep on the side of the street at IMTS. It's going to be great.
No, we'll just retire and become full-time podcaster influencers.
100%. Podcasting number one. But yeah, the Patrons get access to the after show, which is usually 10 to 15 minutes of Curt and I talking deranged shit or about other things other than machining. And that's to all the Patreons. And then the Patrons also get exclusive voting rights when I buy a machine. You get to name it. Yeah, I'm setting a bad precedent here with that one. But yeah, thanks again to all the Patreons. And shirts aren't all available. Some shirts are available on the website because some are literate. It's finally caught up with me. And what was mentioned in the Dylan special has now come to pass.
No. Oh, right. Yeah, because we're in the future. But
we're in the future, but the past, but tomorrow.
And this, the comments or whatever in this podcast, if you click the word thing, we'll have a bunch of links of some of the weird stuff that I've talked about. I'll have a link to the build that I used to modify my little machine. And I'll have a link to Open Builds. If you haven't just perused openbuilds.com, go there. It is so cool if you're a nerd about like machine design and stuff. But there's amazing laser builds on there if you want to just soak a ton of time into that world.
Your one was off of Thingiverse, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It's I think it's maybe.
I think I asked you about this in the past.
Yeah, if you just go on Thingiverse and look up K40 rebuild in original enclosure, that will basically link you to mine.
Your build is great. That it's in the original enclosure, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. But yeah, the open build ones, if you have a little bit more cash to spend on like 80/20, people are doing some
mine was
stuff.
Built out of 20 by 20 aluminium extrusion and all billet aluminium parts. Like I look at those parts, I'm like, I machined these on the Slowio. What the shit? How do they look so good?
Oh, nice.
As far as I'm concerned, the Slowio is a piece of shit and can't make a single part anymore. But like the stuff I used to pull off that machine was quite impressive.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting how I look at it now and I'm like, ew, I don't want to touch that thing. And yeah, I've got spoiled with the LK.
I know. That's the problem is you have access to all these machines. That's all I want to do is I want to use them to build more machines and toys for myself, but it typically doesn't pay the bills all that well. But
no, it doesn't.
I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge.
Okay, sweet. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this canned episode while I'm away on holiday, hopefully fishing on my brother's farm. But yeah, we will see. And then I think we will be back next week for our final episode of the year.
Ooh.
And then we have another canned episode that I think we'll just throw out as a bonus episode as the year begins. Because we have a canned episode we did a while ago about power and phase converters, which was also quite an interesting one. That's like 10 episodes old now. We canned it when we did our preview, when we did the Naughty Performance episode.
Right.
So we've got that. Maybe we'll dump both of these. Who knows? Yeah,
I have updates on that, but you'll hear it in a podcast or in a one that's current date. So I'll talk to you then.
Sweeto, thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks all. Take care. Bye.